Heaven Black insecticide spray and coil.
Senior lecturer at Department for the Study of Religions at the University of Ghana says passage of anti-witchcraft bill will do little to prevent people from labeling others as witches.
Also tonight, over 200 retail shops at the old Makola shopping mall in Accra destroyed in fire.
Later, we'll tell you the story of a 20-year-old senior high school graduate teaching children to ensure no child is left behind, even in the midst of flooding disaster in the Volta region.
On the international front, 20 trucks carrying aid arrived in Gaza for the first time since the Israel-Hamas war erupted. We are live and interactive on all social media platforms, especially Facebook, and also on our website, 3news.com. Do get interactive with us on the many stories we have for you tonight.
We're starting off on a rather sad note because more than 200 retail shops at the old Makola shopping mall in Accra have been destroyed by fire. It took personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service over 7 hours to put out the fire.
It's reported to have started at 11 p.m. on Friday, by which time shop owners and their workers had closed. The Makola fire incident is the second in 2 years. A team of firefighters was at the scene after receiving a distress call from private security men. 70 firefighters were deployed to the scene to control the fire. It took the firefighters 7 hours with the deployment of 9 fire tenders from nearby substations to extinguish the fire. Over 200 retail shops and makeshift structures were affected by the fire. Most of the affected shops are into the retail of highly combustible goods, including perfumes, wigs, and other cosmetic products. The Deputy Director of Operations at the Ghana National Fire Service, DO1 Kofi Forson, attributed the delay in dousing the fire to lack of access for fire tenders.
They have encroached on the alleys, so it makes the place very narrow to access. In all, about 200 structures, including makeshift structures, got totally burnt, including their content. We were able to salvage over 2,000 stores, including makeshift shops. And then again, we were able to salvage the ECG substation, which is just about 10 meters away.
Owners of wristwatches and jewelry shops also lost their wares. Kukwa is the owner of 2 retail outlets. Upon hearing news about the fire, she rushed to her shop to salvage her goods.
I witnessed the ravaging inferno, but I was prevented from entering the mall to salvage my goods. When I was finally allowed entry into my shops, all my goods were gone.
Other traders were concerned.
We own 4 shops here, and they are all burnt.
The fire service is yet to establish the cause of the fire, but Cynthia, a shop owner, suspects illegal electricity connections.
Some of the traders have resorted to illegal electricity connections in their shops. They use unqualified electricians for the job, and that has landed us in this disaster.
A tour around the affected area shows cables loosely hanging. The Accra Metropolitan Chief Executive, Elizabeth Saki, who was at the scene to obtain first-hand information about the incident, called for punitive sanctions for perpetrators of illegalities at markets.
I'm surprised that we still have these things happening, and I think it's something that we put in court attitude now. So we'll see to it that we end that by putting in some sanctions.
Statistics from the Ghana National Fire Service indicate that Ghana recorded a total of 2,177 fire outbreaks in the first quarter of 2023 alone, a slight reduction from the fire incident recorded in 2022. Within the period, domestic fires led the chart with a total of 760, bush fires at 492, commercial fires at 336, electrical fires at 208 and vehicular fires at 178. Fires caused by refuse were 117. Institutional fires were 76, and there were 10 industrial fire outbreaks. Out of the figure recorded within the period, the public doused 596 of the fires, and 1,581 were extinguished by the Ghana National Fire Service.
Let's go on to one of the trending stories in the last few days. Now, rising water levels in the Volta River due to the spillage of the Akosombo and Pond dams are beginning to bite down south as water is encroaching into resorts along the Volta River. Emmanuel Samani reports on the impact of the twin spillage down south.
Along the banks of the Volta River, an unfolding crisis is testing the resilience of riverside businesses. This unexpected challenge is a result of climate change and a controlled dam spillage that has reshaped the landscape. Patronage is low. Businesses along the Volta River are bearing the brunt. Clients nowhere to be found. The director of Riviera Volta Club, Rose Tete, says the rising water levels are affecting their business.
We have our clients or our customers coming in. When they see the rise of the water, they don't stay in, they go away because they are scared to sit here, eat and drink. You know, Ghanaians don't like water, and for them seeing this rising of this water, it doesn't really encourage them to sit here to have fun.
The situation is no different at the Akosombo Continental. Though the river has not encroached upon the premises, management says patronage has been low.
One of the activities that always give us businesses is our boat cruising here, and because of the spillage, there is no way we can allow the sporting activities to at least go on, because if we tried, maybe any unfortunate incidents will happen. So we have decided to hold on now because of the spillage.
Arguably, the worst hit business along the Volta River is the Afrikiko Riverfront Resort. Events that were scheduled had to be postponed, and in some instances, funds had to be refunded.
This is where most of the time we play live band every Saturday. But now it is due to this water. Last week, we were not able to play, this week too, and business is very, very slow. Where we do our functions, we have a wedding functions and parties and other things. The water has taken that place too. So even this week we're having a wedding. The person has to relocate. We have to even refund the person's money back.
As the levels of the Volta River continues to rise, it remains to be seen how businesses, communities and residents along the river will fare when the waters recede. Reporting for TV3 News, Emmanuel Samani on the Akosombo River.
In a related development, the livelihoods of fishermen along the Volta River have been affected by the currents of the river. A consequence of the recent dam spillage, fishermen once reliant on the river's bounty now find themselves in dire straits.
Fishermen along the Volta River have been left in dire straits, unable to cast their nets due to the swift currents resulting from the dam spillage. Local fishermen are grappling with the severe consequences of the recent dam spillage. Stephen Hoto has been fishing for 15 years. He says he's never seen anything like this. The fishing equipment was all destroyed due to the current of the Volta River.
It is very, very effective. Our cages, our fishes are gone, cages are broken, we can't do anything, we can't fish. It's only farm that we can do here, we can't go anywhere.
He says his colleague fishermen are also unable to fish.
Not me alone, we are in a group. You can see my second colleague there. There's different people in the house. Nobody is working, nobody is moving to the river to fish, do anything. Everybody's life is paused here.
It's been 3 weeks since his last catch.
I didn't catch any fish unless I go to hunting. If I didn't went to hunting, I will not eat anything. I will not eat fish unless I buy. And the price of fish here is very, very, very expensive. We can't even buy with the poor men like this. We can't do anything. It's only the rich men that can do something.
For Martin Bobobi, The spillage of the dam has cost him his business.
Ahami, I say Meduma. Your cage waha, a group, your cage waha, say 24 kgs.
The spillage has rendered me jobless. I'm hopeless.
He's asking the government and other stakeholders to come to their aid to help them revive their businesses.
I have sleepless nights. Government should come to our aid.
The cries along the Volta River grow louder as those who rely on the river for their livelihood yearn for a return to calmer waters. The heartbreaking stories of Stephen and Martin offer a glimpse into the harsh realities faced by the fishing community along the Volta River. As they appeal for help from the government, the question remains, how can these fishermen recover from the devastation caused by the dam spillage? Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, along the Volta River.
And we remain on issues regarding the aftermath of the Akosombo Dam spillage. And clearly there have been calls which has intensified for President Akufo-Addo to declare a state of emergency over the disaster. Although the government has so far resisted the calls, panelists on TV3's news analysis program have also backed the declaration to ensure more relief items are made available to victims of the floods. Noble Crosby Annan has the rest of the story.
Livelihoods have been upended, properties lost, families forced to relocate, education put on hold, a looming medical emergency, and no end in sight. The devastating floods that have swept through various parts of the Volta region have left a distressing impact on tens of thousands of lives. This disaster has left in its wake a trail of destruction, affecting critical infrastructure such as roads, schools, hospitals, and electricity supply. The cause? The release of excess water from the Akosombo Dam. The spillage, according to operators of the Akosombo Dam, the Volta River Authority, was a necessary measure to safeguard the dam's structural integrity.
Somebody delayed the date of the spillage, either deliberately or negligently delayed the spillage. And so when the dam was bursting at its seams and was practically vibrating under the weight of the heavy water, they had to spill. And spill because, look, there's disaster looming. If you don't spill and spill heavily and bring and ease off the pressure on the dam particularly was vibrating. We need to have some inquiry into this matter.
Member of Parliament for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo firmly asserts that the Volta River Authority cannot absolve itself of responsibility.
There's something fundamentally wrong with the spillage that was done this time around in the manner that it was done. So the VRA acted unprofessionally in discharging this time round.
The VRA embarked on a controlled spillage as part of a disaster mitigation plan that began on September 15. However, things took a dire turn when the spill had to be increased. For private legal practitioner Martin Pebu, the management of VRA must answer to their actions.
VRA could be in for trouble. VRA will be asked questions how they sat on their hands and allowed this situation to build and eventually to occur and cause so much harm and damage to people. So that will be accountability. And then, of course, if they are found liable, if people are found to be negligent and all that, all those are forms of accountability.
The MP for Asante Akim North, Andy Apia Kubi, attributes the spillage and the ensuing flood disaster to engineering failures. He is adamant that VRA officials found culpable must face the consequences.
I see it more as an engineering failure than a calamity, because all these things were anticipated within the general framework of the project. Professional negligence, we need to criminalize it. If we don't, the people who have caused this mess, they are sleeping somewhere. Maybe they are even profiting from the mess. Let's bring people like that back and face the law and punish them, so that some of us will learn from it.
Calls for the declaration of a state of emergency have grown louder in the wake of this disaster. Former President John Dramani Mahama, The Assemblies of God Church, the Ghana National Association of Teachers, amongst others, have all added their voices to this call. On key points, all the panelists echoed the same sentiment.
So the call is very welcome. And I want to believe that the president is considering this prompting. We'll lose nothing if we call for it.
If you don't declare it, you can't deploy the army in this manner, because Parliament will ask you questions.
There is a lack of patriotism on the part of many of us, even in our quest to discharge duties reposed in us.
If maybe they have seen reasons why a state of emergency should not be declared, they should come up. And time is of the essence. This kukwasa must stop.
According to the Volta River Authority, the release of water from the Akosombo Dam will continue until the excess inflows in the lake recede. Noble Crosby-Annan, TV3 News, Accra.
When water from the spill gates of the dams tore through communities in the Volta region, it did not only impact businesses and livelihoods, but also education. Surrounded by nothing but rains, a ray of hope has emerged from unexpected quarters in Mepe. My colleague Emmanuel Samani again tells the story of how 20-year-old Gertrude Nuchukwi is ensuring that no child is left behind, even in the midst of the disaster.
Schools are shut, teachers have been impacted, and education seems to come to a standstill.
So we're now here at the St. Kizito Senior High School, where families, young and old, share this single space, the Home Econs 3 class. This class used to be a space of teaching and learning. Now these families call this place their home.
But with benches and no school stationery, these children have nothing to give, but their hearts are eager to receive knowledge from a 20-year-old.
Who can show me the nose? How many do you have? One. Only one. What else? Armpit. Armpit. How many armpits do you have? Two.
Gertrude Nachukwi, a young senior high school graduate, is determined to make a difference. In the face of adversity, Gertrude becomes a beacon of hope, ensuring that the dreams of these children remain alive. With her unwavering commitment, she's filling the void left by closed schools. Gertrude's lesson spans various subjects, from math to science, English and RME. She's creating a nurturing environment where children continue to dream, learn and grow.
From the beginning, when I started, it was a week ago. So some listening to me, paying attention, comporting themselves, it was difficult. So I have to persuade them with some toffees and biscuits before they pay attention. But now it's okay. But writing, teaching without writing, it's not good. We have various classes from 1 to 5, basic 1 to 5. So I do general teaching like personal hygiene, letter sounds, parts of the body, like general things that all of them have a knowledge of. So
she tells me why she took this initiative.
They were not going to school, and most of the times since we moved here, they've been playing around, no school, no studies. So I just decided to gather them up and teach them something.
Amidst the rising waters, these children have found hope. Gertrude has shown them that their dreams can weather any storm. Parents and community members share their appreciation for Gertrude's work.
I think Gertrude is doing a very good job that we were not expecting. Because of the flood, we think we will be scattered all over. But I think the girl is doing a good job for our children, because they will not be roaming about, maybe going to the riverside for the flood to catch them and then kill them for us. So I think she's doing very well.
I came here this morning, I saw her gather some children and she was teaching them. And I love the way she was teaching the students. She was using the interactive method. She asked the question, the students responded. It's getting everybody involved in the teaching practice, in the teaching and learning process.
Amid the disaster, Gertrude's dedication has ignited a spark of knowledge, courage, and resilience in a generation of children.
Her efforts are not just a lesson in survival, but a testament to the undying spirit of human endeavor. Even when the waters recede, the lessons learned in this time of crisis will continue to resonate among the children. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Mepe, in the Volta region.
Kudos to Gertrude, as they say, one for all for one. Still in the Volta region, the hospitals in that region are being overstretched as a result of the flooding which has been caused by the spillage of the two dams. In this report, Judith Brown puts the spotlight on the Sogakope District Hospital, which is currently overwhelmed with patients.
It's been a challenging situation here at the Sogakope District Hospital here in the Volta region. While many homes and clinics in this community have been submerged in water, other major hospitals have been shut down, putting significant pressure on the district hospital. This is making it more difficult for nurses and doctors here to cope.
The hospital is overwhelmed just because Richard Novati Hospital is not working. It has been closed down. There is pressure on our supplies because we have already purchased our consumables for the period before the disaster.
A closer look at the district hospital revealed major lapses in accommodation for patients. Peace Duho is a 25-year-old nursing mother. She, however, has to sleep on the floor because she has not been able to settle her hospital bills of 634 cedis.
Ubeda bed nusunde, ebi omayi unde da usika numbande. Nde nombe ka chose sorry for bed nusu. Nipa fufro ba beji bed nu. Nti ebi obeda fom. Moyi mba mi skanu nyamba yenti mo beji mi bed nu.
But more distressing is the fact that she and her week-old baby have nowhere to go, even if they are given the opportunity to be discharged.
Sisi a ombe transfer and da coffee. Ba mi coffee sisi a mini baby a mini akola nko akoda.
Peace is only one of several other mothers experiencing the same ordeal here at the hospital. Even those with the means to pay are still struggling for beds. More and more homes are being submerged, and the hospital facility is gradually losing supplies. Member of Parliament for the Korle Klottey municipality in the Greater Accra region, Dr. Zaneto Ajiman, donated some items at the hospital to aid with the decline in supplies.
In addition to all the other medications that we brought along, we included the disinfectants, soap, and also mosquito coils. And we have mattresses as well. And the point of all of this is really to ensure that the staff here are better prepared for the potential public health crisis that could actually ensue in the aftermath of the spillage.
She's further calling for efforts to ensure communities are provided with safe havens in times of disaster.
The kind of response that you should be seeing to an incident of this magnitude is not exactly proportional to what we're witnessing at the moment, and I think that's quite disturbing.
For now, communities continue to bear the brunt of the dam spillage. Judith Brown, TV3 News, Sogakope, Volta region.
An estimated 11,000 children have been affected by the flooding caused by the spillage of the Akosombo and Pond dams, posing significant health and education challenges. The situation necessitates emergency supports from all stakeholders, including NGOs and individuals, to aid in relief efforts, especially for vulnerable groups.
The flooding has significantly impacted education, health, shelter, and food access. Child Rights International provided 50,000 cedis to the National Disaster Management Organization to support children's health and education in 80 affected communities.
We've carried out assessment to look at the data on children affected by the situation, and we recorded over 10,000 children affected by the situation. So our visit today is to do another level of assessment to see how children are placed within the whole system, and then how our social protection system is giving them support. And we've had interaction with the children, and you see the condition in which they are. And for us, we think that there is a need for us to take further steps to be able to protect them.
Communications Director of NADMO, Georgia EC, was grateful for the gesture.
Children that are involved, they want to ensure the safety, security, and welfare of children. And so they are making this donation specifically towards that, their education and how to keep them in these difficult times.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. Let's turn our attention to one of our headlines for you. Now, people labeled as witches or wizards continue to suffer in the hands of others despite a criminal offences amendment bill which has been passed by Parliament 3 months ago to protect them, as the President is yet to sign the bill into law. Evelyn Tingma has been finding out what may be preventing the President from signing the bill into law.
On July 27, 2023, the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill, also known as the Anti-Witchcraft Bill, was passed by Parliament, prohibiting the practice of witch doctors or witch finders. It has also banned the accusation of someone being a witch. But some civil society groups have expressed concern over the delay in signing the bill into law. When a bill is passed by Parliament, it takes a few days for the legislature to send it to the presidency. And then within a week, the bill is signed by the President for it to become law. But that is not the case with the Anti-Witchcraft Bill. It's been 3 months since its passage and yet to be signed by the President. Executive Director of the Sane Institute, Professor John Azuma, asserts that the bill is still in Parliament, citing the ongoing threats to lives due to accusations of witchcraft and wizardry.
We all spoke out, people condemned it, and then when it comes to acting to bring about a legislation that will help address the issue, there is some foot dragging or there is some attempts to stall the bill. We are waiting for Parliament to resume from recess, and we will go to Parliament and demand to know where the bill is. We have been on the ground. We've tried to sensitize the communities. We've tried to do a lot of education. Some of the people see it as a deeply held belief and a cultural practice, and therefore education alone would not work.
He advocates for a law that acts as a deterrent and allows the police to arrest and prosecute perpetrators.
All the police can do is arrest people when there's a physical violence, and that is the problem. Because the accusation doesn't just come with physical violence alone. It comes with banishment. It comes with seizure of people's properties and their lands back in their communities. They drive them away from their homes, and they live in isolation in communities that they are strangers in.
But in an interview with the Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu, who also heads government business, Parliament has long transferred the bill to the presidency.
The bills that were passed by Parliament, all of them have gone to the presidency. There are a couple of them that my understanding is the Attorney General has raised some issues with, but I think it doesn't include anti-witchcraft. The President, the last time he spoke with me, he wanted to have some consultation with the Speaker on those. I think there are 2 bills. I think the anti-witchcraft is not part of it.
The main question remains, what is preventing the President from signing the bill for it to become law? Evelyn Tingma, TV3 News, Accra.
And while we all await answer to what exactly is holding the President back from appending his signature onto that bill, let's find out what this really means and whether a law legislated by Parliament can't prevent what people believe in. Dr. Harry Lawson Kweku Agbano is a senior lecturer, Department of Study of Religions at the University of Ghana. Doc, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. We know that the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill 2002, which has been passed by Parliament as of July, prohibits the naming and calling persons as witches or wizards. Do you think that the bill, as it stands, can prevent people from attacking others and calling them witches or wizards?
Belief in witchcraft is one significant element in African indigenous belief. It's part of the people's culture, it's part of the people's belief. And so nothing can stop them from believing what they believe. In fact, as I indicated, belief in witchcraft is an essential part of African traditional religion. And as you may know, the religion permeates every aspect of our life, culture, social, economic, everything. And so to want to isolate a belief and prescribe it by legislation, I am a bit not sure that it will work.
Right. And Doc, I mean, from where you sit as an expert, is it something like clearly stating that it is a belief people have, and there are those who actually believe in witchcraft and wizardry? Should we enact a law or probably review the Constitution to give them some protection?
That's what I've been saying, that let's get people in academia. Let's get people in, what do you call them? In civil society. Let's get people who are working with these unfortunate people who are accused of witchcraft. Let's get them so that we study the phenomenon well and use a multi-purpose approach in handling the situation. As I said, people in religion, people in sociology, people in social work, psychology, sometimes even mental health. A team of people, experts like that, should be able to help us better than just legislating and thinking that the legislation would solve the problem. For example, female genital mutilation, we said it's criminal, but it's still being done. It's still being done. If you will not allow me to do it in Ghana, people cross the border to Cote d'Ivoire, they cross the border to Burkina Faso, they do it and come back. What can you do? But if proper education is given involving leadership in the various communities, the chiefs, the opinion leaders, I think we'll have a better solution than using the law. Probably maybe the law plus other interventions will help us better than depending only on the law.
Right. Dr. Harry Agbanu, Senior Lecturer, Department of the Study of Religions, University of Ghana. Thank you for your time. As always, you're still watching News 360 on TV3. We take a quick break. We are back with more.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly.
Thank you for staying with us on News 360. Let's focus on some more stories tonight. Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Andy Apiakubi, says it is not enough for the Attorney General to conclude that there's no evidence of officials engaged in Galamsey. Speaking on key points, he called on the Attorney General to conduct further investigations into the allegations.
The NDC last week called for the resignation of the Attorney General, Godfred Dame, in relation to his office's legal opinion on the illegal mining report by former chairman of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Professor Kobna Frimpong Boateng. Professor Frimpong Boateng submitted a 36-page report titled Report on the Work of the IMCIM so far and the Way Forward, which alleges that some government officials and private citizens were involved in Galamsey. In the report, he mentioned some people in the Akufo-Addo government. The Attorney General's office, in a legal opinion to the government, noted that investigations by the police have not revealed any evidence in support of the allegations against persons cited in the report. The legal advice said the evidence provided by the former Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation was bare and could not support a criminal case against 12 of the 15 individuals. The legal advice stated that there was plausible evidence against 3 others, but that the case against them was already under investigation by the police, and the AG would await the outcome of that investigation. Speaking on TV3 Key Points, Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Andy Apiakubi, says it is not enough for the Attorney General to conclude that there is no evidence against officials engaged in Galamsey. He called on the Attorney General to conduct further investigations into the allegations.
It is inadequate for AG to tell us that I don't have evidence. When, clearly this is part of the evidence that should be invoked in the prosecution of people that we see in pictures. And indeed, the report itself alone should ignite an investigation so that the investigation will expose and that we could even arrest them. And they could also come and give statements. And it is all part of the evidence that is required in the prosecution.
For MP for South Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekbo, the Attorney General is being political with the situation.
He's playing politics with this. He's not acting as a lawyer. That is why Professor Jampo says he's acting as a political appointee. That there's no evidence when the law clearly says that the materials that have come to you constitutes evidence. So it is up to the court to place a probative value on the evidence offered.
Political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, wants the Attorney General to discharge his duties with the national interest at heart.
As Attorney General of the land, the good people of Ghana expect you to discharge your duty with a sense of patriotism. We must not always seek to protect partisan interests. Tomorrow, your party will not be in office. And take note of this, that people are dying. People are having liver diseases. People are having their kidneys failing. It may not happen to you today because you may have the resources to be able to fly yourself abroad. But whilst you are gone, don't forget that your nephews and nieces would also be suffering.
Meanwhile, private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu has asked the Attorney General to ensure a proper investigation is conducted.
On to some other stories tonight. The National House of Chiefs has deferred the adoption of a revised Dagbon Constitution, which aims at improving chieftaincy and land management in Dagbon. The decision by the House comes after some chiefs opposed certain aspects of the revised constitution that has to do with territorial boundaries.
As part of effort to consolidate the peace and reconciliation of Dagbon, after nearly 40 years of turmoil, the overlord of Dagbon, Yana Abukari, set up the Dagbon Constitutional Review Committee to review the Dagbon Constitution, which was said to have outlived its usefulness since the last review in 1930 and contributed to a series of chieftaincy succession disputes and land disputes in the area. The revised constitution provides clear succession path to all the skins in Dagbon. Presenting the revised Dagbon constitution to the National House of Chiefs for adoption, some chiefs opposed to it, citing territorial boundary disputes between Dagbon and Gonja land. After some deliberations, the House unanimously deferred the adoption of the revised constitution.
It is clear that the issue of territorial boundary is going to be problematic, and the Dagbon Constitution Review even acknowledged it. The National House of Chiefs is currently aware that a number of protest petitions have been received. Yes, Dagbon, you've done a very good job, and we think that we should support it. But at the moment, you are aware, I'm sure some of those petitions have come to you. The National House has decided that it should go back and then have some consultation with those and then come back, and the National House will approve it. We have no problem with the various aspects of the Constitution. It is this territorial issue which has raised, and we think that we should go back.
The delegation for the revised Dagbon Constitution, even though we're not happy with the decision by the House, said they will go and rectify the land differences and return to the House for approval.
As part of the peace-building efforts in Boku, the Security Task Force in the area has conducted a joint environmental awareness exercise with traders, the leadership of transport unions, and other stakeholders in the municipality. Residents of the municipality actively participated in the exercise, which was aimed at promoting unity among the people while ridding the area of filth.
You hear your children shouting, "We want peace! We want peace!"
The Boku municipality has been without peace since November 24, 2021, following renewed chieftaincy conflicts.
We want peace! We want peace! We want peace!
Various initiatives to restore peace have seen little or no results. The exercise was designed not only to promote peace, but also to raise environmental awareness among the residents of the municipality. It was also aimed at fostering a shift in attitudes towards environmental responsibility. Led by the military command, the residents cleaned up areas around the Boku Senior High School, the town's highways, the Municipal Ghana Education Service Building, Locus, and the Ayana Bypass, as well as the articulated truck station.
And because of the fight, we are not able to go to school, so we are depending on the securities to guide us and let Boku conflict to stop so that we can go to school. And we are thanking the security once again for protecting us all these days.
The heads of the military task force in Boku, Colonel Enchi Ewadakwa, expressed delight at the role of the traditional authorities in the peace process.
Going forward, let's embrace unity. Let's embrace peace. Let's live together as brothers and sisters. And then the people that you are seeing, the police, the soldiers, everybody, security agency that you see, it's a brother. We are trying to protect you. We are trying to give you peace. We are trying to enable you to develop.
The head of the Special Anti-Terrorism Police Task Force, ACP Raymond Adofiem, urged the two factions in the conflict to embrace the peace process.
There is no need going back and allowing the few spoilers. A thief is a thief. It doesn't matter which community is coming from. A criminal is a criminal. A bullet does not select. So it is good that as we move from here, we have the national mantra that says, if you see something, if you hear something, and even if you smell something.
Several residents expressed satisfaction with the efforts by the Colonel Enchi Ewadakwa-led command, encouraging each other to support the task force to restore the peace that they are missing in their lives.
This is News 360. We have some sports news coming up next. Stay with us.
Make life beautiful. Embrace it with the all-new Ahofe from GTP. Life, style.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities of 1,000 cedis and upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. Call Quick Credit today, 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Sports segment is brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
It's time for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alote. We begin with round 6 of the Ghana Premier League, and it was a goalless stalemate between Accra Hearts of Oak and Samatex at the Accra Sports Stadium. Let's take a look at reactions from both managers after the draw.
I think we deserved 3 points over winning, but now you see we come a lot of times now in the box, so we did a lot of training about this. Nice sessions, the boys fight for their life, and I think we have 2 times 45 minutes control about the game. Only finishing on this moment is the question now, but if we continue to do this, it will be happen for sure.
But as a young club, I think that we are making effort to get a good place. The matches are played in the first round, so you need to build up your points during the first round. That's exactly what we are doing. We don't know what will happen in future, so I think that we are on course. Run away from the fact that we don't do well away, so that is the beginning. And as going forward gradually, we have to see how we can map strategies to always pick some points away.
Heading over to the English Premier League, Mohamed Salah's double secured a 2-0 win for Liverpool. He had elsewhere. Arsenal rescued a point in a hard-fought 2-2 draw with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Sterling. It's Sterling's cross. There are streams of handball. Proximity must be an issue. Chris Kavanagh.
Field review has been suggested. And that normally means one thing, doesn't it?
It's Mudryk and Saliba. Equally, it impacted materially. And it's a penalty. Palmer rolls it in for the Blues. Palmer through the middle. Sterling getting forward too. And now Mudryk. It's Mudryk's cross which has blown right in. A beautiful accident. Oh, give it away to Rice. Now we've got a game. He pounced with poise. Bukayo Saka. And Arsenal are level. Leandro Trossard has pricked him blindside.
Held up by Gross and then taking him on and getting beyond him. Brilliantly enough by Doku. Manchester City go in front. Julian Alvarez makes the breakthrough.
Forward advanced positions now.
Haaland. Oh, magnificent. What a finish from Erling Haaland. Mitoma past Walker. Brighton have pulled a goal back. Ansu Fati off the bench.
0-0 game. Is 0-0 no longer? Mo Salah! Into Salah to his right. This is Mo Salah. The derby is decided. Liverpool are going to the top of the Premier League for now.
Staying in England, Manchester United legend Sir Bobby Charlton, a key figure in England's 1966 World Cup victory, has died at the age of 86. Charlton won 106 caps for England and scored 49 international goals, records for his country at the time. During a 17-year first-team career with United, he won 3 league titles, a European Cup and an FA Cup. Manchester United paid a fond tribute to Charlton, describing him as one of the greatest and most beloved players in the history of the club. That will be all for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alute.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, Lifestyled, Vodafone, Further Together, and powered by 3 Entertainment.
In entertainment news tonight, musician and label boss of Black Avenue Music, D Black, has lashed out at the ruling government over the country's economic crunch. Speaking to Giovanni Caleb on Showbiz 360, the rapper pointed out that the government has failed to live up to expectations. D Black is one of the many celebrities who believed in President Akufo-Addo's message of change and supported him to win power in the 2020 elections.
This economy, you are part of those who brought us here, no? You campaigned for the president.
I didn't, I beg you.
But you were chosen as ambassador.
I believed in him.
You believed in him. And you're a different one.
A lot of people believed.
Yeah. Like people believe in Christ.
But did you believe?
Me, I believed in my pocket money. I believed in life. I believed in my family. I believed in salary. I believed in my
You didn't answer the question,
People won't worry me.
I believe, but I don't know what happened.
Do you still believe in the president?
I'm disappointed.
You are disappointed in the president? D-Block, why?
I'm disappointed in the government.
In the government?
Yeah.
Why?
Because a lot of the promises that were made were not fulfilled. And the hardships that the youth and then the entire country is going through a lot. We're not blind, you can see, you know. And
you're a businessman, business owner as well. So
I'm a citizen first.
Okay.
And as a citizen, you can't turn a blind eye to certain things. There's a lot of things that are not going on the way they should. And as entertainers and public figures and people that look up to us are expecting us to speak and air our views and our opinions on these things.
That's right.
And to be honest with you, some of the things are not right. Our economy is not in the best of shape. You know, there's not enough hospitals, the roads are terrible. There's so much going on. But there's only very little time we have here to talk about this.
I understand.
A lot of people are not happy.
Yeah.
You're not happy.
I'm happy.
You're a liar.
I am happy on TV. Me 10 o'clock, then I go back to unhappy.
Yeah, but we pray and hope for the best.
Yeah, we are just hoping for the best.
In more entertainment news tonight, Ghanaian entrepreneur and singer Diamond Mitchell, popularly known as Michi, says she will no longer have collaborations without proper contractual agreements. The singer, who has a new song titled Hustle, told 3 Entertainment that she regrets not having a contract for her previous collaborations.
Comes to artists is royalties. The time we saw you hit the music scene till now, in terms of your music, has Michi made money from it?
No. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I haven't. I think the YouTube might bring me some cash at the end of the day, at the end of the year. But so far, no. And most of my songs are features. Yeah, and I'm not doing features again.
Why are you not doing features again? Is it because of some bad experience you had in the past?
I think I'm yet to learn a lot about the music industry. I did a lot of features through friendship, and seeing how blown some of them are today, I would have wished I signed a contract, And if I had even suggested, the other party, most of the time, don't want to sign these papers. You understand? So I'll take my time. If it's a foreign artist or someone who's ready to boost, I need a feature on Hustle, or a good one. So yes, I would do that. But for now, I'll take my time, especially with my fellow artists here.
No, if you catch me, no be this time, oh. No be this time, oh. I be your mama and you be my daddy. I be one girl where you never know about me.
And now the 2023 MTV's Europe Music Awards EMAs have been cancelled as the conflict in the Middle East continues, according to a statement posted by the show's social media page. The network, in a statement, said, given the volatility of world events, they have decided not to move forward with the 2023 MTV EMAs out of the abundance of caution for the thousands of employees, crew members, artists, fans, and partners. The MTV EMAs are an annual celebration of global music. MTV noted that voting for the 2023 show will continue through the end of the month, and the winning artists will still receive their MTV EMA awards. Some international news.
20 rafts carrying aid have entered Gaza for the first time since the Israel-Hamas war erupted. The UN called the initial deliveries a drop in the ocean of what's needed. It has been 2 weeks since Hamas launched its assault on Israel, killing more than 1,400 people. Palestinian officials says more than 4,000 people have died in Gaza since then. 2 American hostages, a mother and her daughter, were freed by Hamas in mediation by Qatar on Friday. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel is trying to free more hostages, though his forces will also fight till victory. Another French military convoy is scheduled to leave Niger for Chad in the coming days, marking the halfway point of the promised withdrawal of the 1,450 French troops based in the country. Last week, French military convoys began leaving bases in southwest Niger, the start of a departure demanded by Niger's junta that has dealt a further blow to France's influence in West Africa's conflict hits Sahel region. French General Eric Ozan said a convoy that left last week had arrived in Chad's capital, in N'Djamena, following weeks of pressure from the military officers who seized power in July. France last month agreed to withdraw its troops based in Niger by the end of the year.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you very much for watching. Our website 3news.com has many more stories for you. My name is Martin Asiedu Date.
And I am Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Have a good evening.
To GTP Fashion Corner. GTP. Life